Holy shit, that is not like the simulation. We are in the teens. We are going to Willow Springs in the morning. I, for once in my life, am going to make it to a driver's meeting. I know what color the flags are, so and I don't put anybody else's life in danger, but still, we're gonna make it there, and we're gonna take this thing in style. We're gonna go ahead and load it up, have it ready. Hopefully nobody steals it over the night. Not a single problem will occur.
Super we're feeling today because we're here, calm, collected, and it's gonna be a good day.
And we're on time.
Yeah, Rob's gonna make it to the driver's meeting.
We're here on time, and that is a first for us ever. Not even what we think is on time, actually on time, to the point where we're taking the scenic route up near the drift track, going around Big Willow, kind of seeing the sights, getting into the moment before we go to the driver's meeting. Right off the bat, we ran into Dustin. So he gets to be the first person in real life to see the car. So he doesn't even know because we haven't announced it yet.
Well, this is a pleasant surprise. Look, you showed up. The whole squad. What up, guys?
How's it going?
Supposedly they brought something special.
This is
You're the first person to real life see this.
yeah.
Is it gonna roll out?
No.
What? You buy a Radical?
No.
What is that?
This is super obscure. It's actually called a Formula Mazda.
No way.
Yes,
oh
it's
my
it's
god.
a rotary.
No
It's, yeah.
way.
Yep. On brand, on point. It's
This
a little,
is insane.
It's actually a spec race car, like a little class.
Yeah, this is so sick.
I should not be allowed to own this. This is the best experience ever to have a rotary be this reliable.
That was the easiest to unload we've ever.
Yeah, because all we do is just push it. I'm unqualified to drive this because I've never driven one, right? But everybody has to start somewhere. So I'm going to certainly take it easy.
Rob jumped right
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Everybody starts somewhere. Rob jumped directly into it. That's what he did.
Yeah, I was told, hey, you should probably start with like shifter carts. This is essentially, in my mind, a shifter cart, or I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention, but it's rotary. Like rotary blinds me, and I just fall in love. I have a lot of expectations or hopes for today for myself. The number one goal is to get in it, understand it, feel the relationship with the car, cut a respectable time. This will be finally a car where we can actually do more than 3 laps without overheating.
Endurance has always been your problem, huh? Here, I will give you the honors.
Oh yeah.
That looks good.
Yeah.
Looks better than the other one.
Yeah. We got like spare parts, and like the other front was kind of bent. Every day before I have a race or I'm going to do something that's super critical or could get me hurt, I start my day with athletic greens. This is something that I take very seriously as part of my morning regimen, even though my morning starts at like noon, but that's because I'm up late, is that I need my brain health at maximum at all times, not just to build a car that hopefully doesn't blow up on camera, but also to drive the same thing and look at least halfway competent doing that. And so there are a lot of things in AG1 that support me in all the different ways that I want, with the simplicity of all of it being in one thing. There's 75 minerals and vitamins, and you're not just talking about, okay, cool, I'm meeting my daily values, but also all the other type of adaptogens, antioxidants, probiotics, everything else that I would want to make sure that I'm keeping my system healthy right off the bat. I tend to fast on accident. It's not like I'm trying to do it. I just don't eat breakfast. And so having this at first gives me this natural little boost and rush, and I keep going for the next couple hours with just that in my system. It's personal preference. It's what I like to do. And of course, I'm a sucker for anything made in New Zealand. I've already actually taken it today, but I will show you how easy it is to take. Scoop goes in down the hatch. So I didn't use as much water as I normally do. I'm gonna put a little bit more just to get that last bit because every bit counts. Go to athleticgreens.com/RobDahm to get started on your first purchase and receive a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2, as well as 5 free travel packs. Thanks to AG1 for sponsoring today's video. We got a window banner. We ain't got no window. We have 15 on both sides of the rear wing, so I guess that's our adopted number. So what we're gonna do is take one of these, keep the other one because that's a cool keepsake. And
We can cut it down.
15.
Yeah,
I like that right
just
there.
put the 15 in line with that, so that way it looks.
Yeah, so we'll put the 115, and then this is for the driver group thing, and so I'll put that like right there. This is a center car.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Here, I'm gonna just give you attention and you put it down.
Okay, let's see. Pull.
Wow. That actually looks really good.
Yeah. There we go.
Nice. White people things.
First thing I want to do is redo all the juice recipes.
Yeah, they're not winning any points with me.
So this track here,
Pepsi?
Whatever you get, can you do some more now? Swear you got me falling for your excellence. Whatever you get, can you take some more now? Swear you got me craving all night and day.
I hurt my neck to do that. Set the mood.
Yeah.
This is how I take the edge off.
Yeah, you're supposed to keep testosterone before you race.
Yeah.
We just talked about that the other day.
Yeah. I have a theory. 3 days. You have to charge up for 3 days to be at your peak. Too many more, and you're super aggressive and useless. But 3 days, you're charming. Your head's in the game. That's
I
my
want to
current
hear
theory.
your guys' like thoughts on.
It really does work. I've tried to.
Yeah.
I try to stay as long as I can until like I feel myself being too weird.
You get weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get pent up weirdness.
I think the most I've gone is like 2 months. And
That's a long time.
Yeah,
That's a lot of willpower.
You get depressed. You
What? Yeah, you need
No,
that serotonin.
Yeah, nothing,
You need
nothing
that
helps.
serotonin.
Nothing helps. Oh, look at this.
Oh yeah. Get the air flowing because all the pussy smell.
You saying that made me want to throw up.
This is cool vibes in here, dude.
So we are going to go through kind of the startup sequence for doing this car. Got my race suit on. I got moose knuckle. I don't like it. We'll warm it up. We've got about 10 minutes, 8 minutes before we stage. I don't want to just sit there idling. I am going to belt myself in, but I'm also going to be using
Ooh.
my kinky thing. So that way it'll hold on to the harness and my hands won't fly out in case of going upside down. My nice gloves. I love these Momo shoes because they're narrow enough for the pedal box down there. I'm gonna be running a lap timer on my phone.
This one should work, but
This
we're
one
not
should work, but
completely sure.
we've never done it, and so I want to make sure we get times. Not much to setting it up. Master switch, turn on, turn over, away we go. Basically, I'm gonna go in and consider myself in for good at the moment.
This is literally his first time ever.
Yeah, strapping up. So there's the. Get my strap on. Wait. That's,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah, that is
Like,
better.
That makes sense because I don't want my hands going above that.
Everything good? Yeah. Just spun out, tires were cold?
Yeah.
Okay. We just make sure there's no fluid on your tires. Alright, take it easy, man. You're good.
I think that's perfect that he spun out on the first lap because that gets like the fear out the way of when you're gonna spin out. You're gonna do it eventually. It's getting better and better, and it looks like it's warming up. So I'm actually really, really excited. It looks so cool and it sounds so cool, and he's just out there driving a little go-kart.
That's a rev limiter.
Holy shit, that is not like the simulations. Oh my god. Well, obviously I PB'd.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did 122.
122.
Yeah.
There's a lot more on it. But that long back straight, I don't know if you could hear, I was hitting the rev limiter in 4th gear.
Uh-huh.
As I was getting better, I was like hitting the rev limiter sooner and sooner. I'm like, I'm not going into 5th. I'm not going into 5th.
It's the cutest little rev limiter ever, dude.
Oh my god. This car is insane. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. Easy to get out of.
Oh, wow, yeah.
0% of that you can feel in the game. But thank fucking god we played the simulator. I will tell you right now, the helmet's fucking heavy.
Really?
Heavy. You can see F1 guys like doing those neck like stretching exercises. Your helmet adds so much weight to your already fat ass head that you're just like, I'm gonna sleep so good tonight. The seat's perfect.
Yeah.
It is perfect.
Planted.
I am stuck in here. The only thing I noticed on my clutch foot, because I don't use it, I am wedged into the car as even further. I mean, I'm stuck in the car, but for some reason, all of a sudden you find that 1 millimeter,
Yeah.
and you're like, so.
It looks sick as fuck.
Oh, dude, I spun out the very first lap.
Yeah, we saw it.
Dustin put it best, is that back straight, it's not straight at all, but when you take it mostly straight, it is blind. You have to trust what you're doing. It came into that turn with a little too much heat with the cold tires, and that's where I spun out. It's funny, I actually get loose every time I turn.
Yes.
Yeah, we
it's
see
straight.
it.
Could you
It
see
looks
it?
super cool, yeah.
Does it? I was like, wow, that's turning weird. And I was like, oh my god, I'm sliding. When we're coming down the back straight, my head was being pushed this way.
No way.
The combination of the speed of the wind plus the helmet shape and all that, the helmet was actually twisting on my head.
That's amazing.
So I have to go even tighter with that. It's just those things that you don't even know until you do it. But I think by the end of the day, we can get into the 119 area.
That's your first time out with the car, and you
First
did it
time
with
out.
a 122, so
Yeah.
I'm proud of that.
Thank you. Yeah, the first lap was the first lap. was the first lap. But then the second lap was a 129, and because the dash worked. So,
Oh, okay.
so
I was like, how do you know all this?
yeah. So second lap was 129, and I was like, wait, that's what I did in the 3-rotor, and I'm just warming up the tires in this car. Everybody else was like, hey, get a shifter car to start small. I thought it was get used to the horsepower. It's not that. This car doesn't let you make bad habits. Like if I brake medium hard and while I'm turning, it's gonna get loose. But if I am straight as an arrow and brake, I get like 3 times the braking feeling, like emotionally feeling it. It's forcing you to be a better driver. And not that every track, every time you have to brake straight and then turn, there's trail braking, all those sort of shit that are far beyond my pay grade. But the idea is that you're getting these really good habits. This is forcing my skill range to improve. These are technically gonna be the inner tires because we're going, clockwise. Looking at it, I think that you would want to lower the tire pressure a little bit just because we're not wearing as much there, but I don't know the answer to that for sure. It just seems like we're missing out on using
some contact patch. And on the other side, you can see the outer tire isn't getting worn as much.
Yeah.
Or the outer edge.
Yeah. So again, we'd be looking at maybe some camber, tire pressures, all of that sort of stuff, because that definitely looks like it's wearing way harder there. My physique is probably changing what they have the camber and everything set up to because of the body roll, this body roll. We also want to point out that is the most laps, I think, overall. Like I've only done like 3 laps here and there on different cars, so this is my most laps ever on this track without overheating or anything else. So it's gonna make me a better driver, better builder, all that sort of stuff. But finally, I have consistency. And
the only time you got to focus on
this is the only time I've ever focused on driving, not focusing on the engine. We're gearing up for the second session.
Drivers group. Drivers group.
Just like Isaiah.
The streets building for another drivers meeting.
Yep. So we're
Group, please head to the streets building for another meeting. Drivers meeting.
so we're never gonna film this. We're beginning the second session, and Isaiah hopefully shows up in time. The main thing is going into the straights and carrying that speed longer, and just trying not to die. Those are the 2 main things. But just get comfortable with the car and learning it as best as possible before we make any adjustments. I'm not even gonna put the Garmin in. I'm just gonna focus on me listening to the tires and when they lose traction.
Calvary has arrived.
Yeah, he is here.
Let's get that back thing on.
Did he go off-roading?
That was actually there.
Oh, is this?
Yeah, I saw that earlier. I don't know.
Oh, I think it was when we were going through the mountain area.
Not that strong. They recommend you run 6 ounces per gallon. I've never done that. The most I've ever done in my life is 2. We did 2 last time, and we're just gonna put 3 in there this time, so that way with whatever we have going on in there, and
Just to be safe.
yeah. So overall, we have whatever we have in there, and I did do 87 again, so that would be combust our hearts, set our hearts ablaze.
This one was at 25, and that one was at 20.
Oh wow. Yeah, so they were.
So yeah, so that explains why the wear out here wasn't happening.
out's not good, but that's a good looking car to spin out. It reminds me of that scene from Top Gun where they're doing a flat spin. There's no like roll or anything, and he just stopped. I bet you that had to be scary as fuck.
Yeah. He definitely slowed down after.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably make him come in.
He's pushing it hard though.
Yeah.
That was bad, huh?
That's first time going to fifth gear on the back.
You carry last speed.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you gotta be careful there. It's always really slippery, especially when you start to brake.
Yeah.
Acid will come around.
Yeah,
So,
wow, good.
You got like 2 minutes left. Up to you.
Okay,
You wanna go?
I'll go one more.
Hey there.
That is incredible.
You were sending it.
20 flat back here. 20 flat back here. Or up here.
I made sure to warm them up by going backwards down the main straight.
That's
straight.
That's pretty
That makes sense.
Do you see? I controlled that. I'm very proud. Like you watch.
Look badass. It looked really badass.
I was like, I even jump started it backwards. I put it into reverse and dropped the
No.
clutch and it started, and I took back off. That was my first time going into fifth gear, and I had so much more speed because it was more torquey. At the mid of fifth gear, but I carried that speed, and not only is it a blind thing, but it also is over a crest, which is I guess also technically blind, but the car unsettles when you're at speed. Going top of fourth, I wasn't at the limit of the car, I was at the limit of speed, and so what happened was the car crested, I lost grip, and the car just picked up and just slid backwards. I did the same thing I did every time, but because I was going that much faster, the car was riding right at its limits. I hit a 121. If I didn't spin out on the super fast lap, that would have been definitely a 120.
You said you did 120 on a hot lap.
Did it say 120?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I saw a low 121 on the dash. That was so much faster, so I was covering so much ground. It was...
Next session, baby.
Yeah, next session. I'm not even gonna change anything. This thing is incredible. It just does not forgiving to you making mistakes. So you just like, oh, don't make that mistake. So we've had a post-nut clarity, and I realized that this car's line, not even the same. They're not even close to the same lines, because we're finally getting to the point where we are handling the car properly, and you choose parts of the line based on the way the car handles. Especially a spec car, you can't modify it. So you have to adapt to it. So like knowing that, hey, if that thing gets squirrely here, yeah, you can adjust toe and camber and sway bars and stuff like that, but only to a point. Then you have to start adjusting your driving to the car. It's really fascinating because the S's up before the whole bowl area, you can hit that 3 different ways, and I'm sure that a professional will find the right way. That I guarantee, but it's harder to focus on committing to going that fast, carrying speed to those areas, than it is finding the right line. I didn't realize that, because like when you're in a normal car, so you're trying to line yourself up to not take as tight of a turn. That's a lot of what, you know, your line is. And this, it can turn, and so you're like, shit, okay, so now how do I carry the speed through it? And it becomes a whole different... I just didn't realize it'd be that blatantly obvious.
2.4.
Well, we
Hell
can't
yeah.
see, but yeah.
That's my boy right there. That's dope. That's dope as shit.
He called it too. He said
Yeah.
he'd run a 119.
Oh, I believed it.
He's too comfortable, dude.
That was so sick. What did I hit?
119.
Hell yeah. 119 what?
0.4.
Oh, yes. Oh my.
Fucking flying out.
I am a leaf in the wind.
We could tell that was the one too.
Yeah, I felt it. I didn't even have to look down. I spun out right there.
Yeah, we
I was
saw that.
cracking up. I did the same exact thing backwards before.
And then you kicked out when you went out too.
Yeah, we're in the teens. We are in the teens.
First time this direction,
Yeah.
driving this car.
In this car. Holy shit. I would tell you,
On a Friday.
you know the movie Avatar?
It was your hair.
My
bro.
tentacles, my tentacles touched the tentacles of the Rotary, and then it's soul bonded. Like it was fighting me at first, but
Quick soldier.
yeah. We think that there's probably a 118 in me, driver-wise. Car-wise, I'm sure it's way lower, but you'll see as soon as I get past turn 1, I went from 2 moments to a moment to now like half a tick. I got just this little bit, like I can brake later. If you notice, I actually locked up the brakes for the first time on purpose once they were warm to see what's my limits, because then the harder I can brake, the later I can brake, the shorter my time gets. So I got a little bit left in there that I can brake later there. I was really finding a nice line that was holding speed through the S areas and then going into the bowl much faster. That was actually really insane. I saw 80 miles an hour going into the bowl, and of course I was slowing down after that, but I think I can go through the bowl maybe 2 to 3 miles an hour faster. I don't want to push that one, but I went into 5th gear, and again, 5th gear torques hard. You'll hear I'm letting off before I crest that thing that messed me up before, so I'm a little gun shy there. There's another half tick right there. I think there's 18 for today.
Rocks are definitely hitting.
It is now open lap track time, and I don't think I'm gonna go for another personal best, and I think I'm just gonna drive the car. And if that ends up being something good, that's great, but I just wanna enjoy the car one more session before like exhaustion and bad stuff starts running into place. Because it's always that last lap, right, where something bad happens. That's not gonna be the case here, especially if you mentally know you're not gonna do that, but I'm just gonna go out and enjoy it. I got so close each lap. That's the thing about open laps, is that there are sections of that session that were faster than any of the previous sessions. I think I saw another 120. I had like 3 or 4 laps in a row where I would be, okay, next lap. And so I'd go into hot, and then, you know, halfway through, there'd be another car, and that's fair game. So I'd be off by like 2-3 seconds because of that. It wasn't in the cards, and the cars start breaking up a lot more. I now am getting closer to the edge of the car, and so I want to understand why it breaks up. It seems like one rotor's going lean or something like that. It was getting worse, and not that the car was running bad. It was just that because I was pushing it harder, it was having more of an effect on my like transient throttle because I was, you know, riding the limit. So when the car would like that was me like 2% on the pedal, and it would unsettle the car. To summarize, yes, we were making a finale to this video. We saw, we conquered. I am very happy with the car. I'm very happy with myself in terms of like personal growth. Nothing I'm gonna say to you is gonna go, oh yeah, that's what he means. You would have to do something like this yourself because it is absolutely terrifying to push the car to its limits. It turns much better than a normal car. It handles much better than a normal car. In your mind, you're like, yeah, I'm pushing the limits of what I'm used to, but now push the limits of this thing, and that's insane. It's such a rush. I feel so alive while doing it. We got into the teens. That was the goal for today. I am so happy, and we're gonna have tons of footage for you guys and for myself. I'm gonna be watching the laps obsessively, trying to figure out how to improve.
Kiss the camera, kiss the camera, kiss the camera, kiss the camera.